This is your Barbados Today morning news update for Thursday, November the 8th. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. Topping the news at this hour, the island's privately owned public service vehicle leaders have submitted new proposals to Prime Minister Mottley for improvements to the transport sector. President of the Association of Public Transport Operators, Maurice Lee, said they had been instructed by the Prime Minister to prepare the proposals and return them to her.
We waiting to hear what the Prime Minister's response is going to be. The Prime Minister told us to prepare a proposal that speaks to improvement within the sector. We did that. He further had instructed that when it was done, to pass it on to the Minister of Transport and have follow-up discussions with him, which we've completed. And he had indicated that after those discussions were completed, that the Minister of Transport will report back to her. And then she will call us in to discuss the status of the industry.
The government of Barbados will be closely monitored by citizen organization, the Shadow Cabinet. The recently formed group, which is led by youth and community activist Corey Lane, also includes social development and community activist Kimar Safri, community worker Melissa Savory, social commentator and the first youth Prime Minister of Barbados' Youth Parliament, Jason Carmichael, and leadership specialist and missionary Imran Richards. The organization was established because of the change in political landscape following the May 24th general election, with the Barbados Labour Party recording a landslide victory and securing all 30 seats. For the first time in the island's history, there was no opposition. Barbados has pledged to remain committed to the Caribbean Court of Justice regardless of who stays or who leaves. The assurance of Attorney General Dale Marshall following Tuesday's rejection of the regional court by Grenada and Antigua and Barbuda. Marshall described the outcome as a sad day for the region. President of the Barbados Bar Association, Liesl Weeks, was just as disappointed with the low voter turnout as she was with the result. At the Cayfield campus of the University of the West Indies, Deputy Dean of the Faculty of Law, Westmin James, called for greater education of the masses on important matters such as the CCJ.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Welcome back with news from the region now. Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, is blaming partisan politics and what he calls the subterfuge, lies and false information of the opposition for the country's rejection of the Caribbean Court of Justice as its final court of appeal during Tuesday's referendum. And the Prime Minister has ruled out any chance of a similar referendum, at least during his term of office.
Prime Minister the Honourable Gaston Brown disappointed with the outcome. His concern lies with the many Antiguans and Barbudans who cannot afford to access the Privy Council.
That was the primary motive that the referendum was seeking to cure. So I think those are the individuals who are, in essence, the losers.
He admits the Labour Party should have mobilized earlier.
As a result, you'd recognize that most of our supporters did not show up. And I think we may have missed that opportunity to provide that level of partisan leadership, recognizing there was a partisan issue anyway.
Stating partisan politics interfered.
The partisan nature of the referendum, the subterfuge of the opposition, the false information, the lies, the innuendos that they've utilized in order to undermine the yes vote. It is unlikely that my government would proceed anytime soon, certainly within this term, with another referendum.
In Grenada, where the CCJ was also rejected in its second referendum on the issue, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell is also blaming politics for the no vote. But while Antigua and Barbados is hopeful of another referendum at some point in the distant future, Grenada's Mitchell has vowed never again as long as he is Prime Minister.
Will not initiate another attempt at this issue as Prime Minister of the country. This is what I said, and I hold very, very dearly to this particular position.
And on the international scene, U.S. President Donald Trump says he is ready to work with the Democrats after they won control of the House of Representatives in midterm elections. But during a testy news conference, he vowed to adopt a warlike posture if Democrats investigated him.
It really could be a beautiful bipartisan type of situation. If we won by 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, that wouldn't happen. And the closer it is, the worse it is. This way, they'll come to me, we'll negotiate, maybe we'll make a deal, maybe we won't. That's possible. But we have a lot of things in common on infrastructure. We want to do something on health care, they want to do something on health care. There are a lot of great things that we can do together. And now we'll send it up, and we will really we'll get the Democrats, and we'll get the Republicans or some of the Republicans. And I'll make sure that we send something up that the Republicans can support, and they're going to want to make sure they send something up that the Democrats can support. So our great country is booming like never before, and we're thriving on every single level, both in terms of economic and military strength, in terms of development, in terms of GDP, we're doing unbelievably.
And that's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We are also on Izumi Media in bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Now you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.